Hey everybody, what's up? Good to be live again. So let me do a quick sound test. Beep beep beep. Sound test. Beep beep beep. I think it sounds okay. If not, let me know in the chat. Cool. So let's start. I will quickly warm up and then we're going to animate in perspective, and I'm going to continue. I show it to you in a second what we did the last time. So I'm going to continue to practice that. So animating simple boxes in perspective, to try out different grids, to move a little bit in space, perspective space, and yeah, get a better feeling for it. That's the goal for today and the next streams. And then also again animating a couple more jumping characters in perspective. That's the plan. And then going to continue to animate or explore the Animator Survivor Kit. The last batch of content in there. Excited for that. And yeah, keeping improving and exploring the animation skills. So finding my rhythm here a little bit. Didn't sketch during the weekend. So just warming up a little bit to sketch some straight lines, getting back into the drawing flow. That's what I'm doing here right now. Sketching a little bit volume here. Okay, then I would say let's start to animate. So this is what we did in the last animation we did in the last week. So I would say let's do more of these. Create a new animation layer here. And first, let's again construct a basic grid here. Nothing special. Maybe like that. Okay. So I will use that as a background to animate the box on top. So where do we start? Maybe let's animate it this time. So it's going in that direction. And we can also this time sketch it more pose from pose. So we're establishing the first 3 key poses. Where it's starting, where the box will land, and where it will be in the air, and then the poses in between that. So here. doesn't have to be perfect. Somewhere here will the box land. So if you have any question on that, let me know in the chat. I'm relying here on perspective rules. For example, right now he's starting in 2-point perspective. 2-point perspective. And yeah, exploring a little bit. Get more comfortable in sketching in perspective. And I think it's a great thing also when you're learning how to sketch in perspective. It's also great to use boxes. So why not using also boxes when learning how to animate in perspective? I think that only makes sense. Maybe like that. We could even keep the lines here at the bottom. So this will indicate a little bit, let's say, shadow. Like that. Okay. Get the next position. Now the box will go into the air. And now we're sketching the next one where the box will extend. And I'm using also the same basic steps similar to when animating a character. I showed it the last time. See if we find it here. So these are the basic steps, also similar when we animated a character who's jumping, the same key poses. So that's what I'm using. So, and here now the box will extend. See how we're going to do that. Maybe like that. Having a little bit a smear here. And yeah, also exploring different styles on how to animate this box, but the focus of this practice is to how to animate in perspective. So we have this one, and he's going in the air. We could also add one more ahead here. where the box is turning a little bit. I think, are we going to do it? Maybe like that. In the other direction. Like that. This box is not sketched so clean. I think we have to go a little bit more here and here. That's just in terms of proportion. A little bit more different than here. But it's okay for now. Something to have in mind. And now here for the next one, the box will move to the front. And I think it's also good practice how to let boxes rotate in perspective, because in every position you have to rotate your box to some degree. And to practice it here, I think it's also then beneficial to then later sketching your figures in perspective. So just increasing the outlines here so it's easier to read. And now the next one here, the box will again stretch and get here to the ground. Be like that. Cool. And it's fun to see by taking the proper time to construct these boxes in perspective and see what's working, what do we have to take care of when animating in perspective. We're going to the basic level of animating in perspective, to taking all the complicated things away like anatomy and really focusing only on a simple box and let it move through space. And I think with that, that's great practice to, that it feels more natural to animate in perspective. Hello Desai, good to see you. And if any one of you has already a lot of practice how to animate in perspective, let me, if you have any tips, share it in the chat or any question. But it's fun to explore the 3D space like that. Of course, you could add also a little bounce, but I'm going to do the next one because the focus is really also on exploring different grids. So let's go to the next one and see what else what else could we set up as a perspective grid and then animating in. So maybe let's do something like this, where we're going let a box jump like this. That's possible. See? I'm sketching in here one vanishing point. And constructing quickly a scene here. I think there's even a perspective tool in Clip Studio Paint. To check that out at some point. And the other vanishing point. So let's make this one here thicker. So we know this is the horizon. And see how much perspective we want to add. Okay, so we're setting up here simple a simple perspective setup. Maybe like that. Let's try it. Let's try it out. Decrease the opacity so it's not so... I feel like perspective grids that are too big, too bold sometimes can be a little bit confusing and disturbing. Not disturbing, but be a factor of distraction. So let's create. So let's quickly see from where to where we want to animate our box. We could even also say the box is moving through a larger space. So maybe let's just sketch in here a first box. Yeah, and maybe just for... I mean, it would be also possible to let it jump somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here. Could jump here. And maybe we do even all of that. I'm not getting too over motivated here. But maybe let's try it out and see what's more challenging. So then also let's increase opacity here and create a new. And here we're going to animate that box. Let's go! It looks challenging, but I think I can learn much from it. So let's clearly, or let's even make the box here a little bit thinner. Okay. So that's the first position. And now let's do the next one. So where do we start? Can somewhere here sketch it in. So one box will go here, another box will go here, further away in space. Like that. Another box will go here. Like that. And I think these three are okay for now. Let's animate these three here. So the box, what's happening here is splitting up. If you're super confused and think, oh my god, what is he doing there? So let me also see quickly the thing in the camera. Let's see now if it's better. Just in terms of focus, you can see me clearly. So right now we're doing the position in the middle. I would say this one here is the easiest one. Maybe let's animate it like that. And a little squash and stretch here. That's too small even, I think. We have to make it a little bit bigger. And also the brush size a little bit smaller. Let's see, let's sketch it so we have both the start position and the end position on the screen. Maybe like that. Let's try this out. Even too small. A bit bigger, maybe like that. So what's definitely happening here is the box will rotate in perspective. Let's see also then if the rotation we're working on will be the right one. So this is happening for that box. Now let's do this box. This box maybe will also rotate. And what I'm seeing, of course, we're now below, on top of the horizon. So of course, everything what is on top of the horizon, we're seeing from being down, and everything below the horizon, we see on yeah, everything was is below the horizon. We can see the top side, and everything above the horizon we see the downside. Oh. Let's quickly see, are we doing that? So a simple box. I feel like also to rotate a box here is a little bit more challenging. Like that. And let's move it a little bit here. Let's keep it like that for now. Now this one here will be way smaller. And land somewhere back there. Here it has to be a little bit bigger. Maybe like that. Even too small. Let's see. I think that's okay for now. And then we're going to land there. And now this one. This one will have quickly connect so we know to some degree this is where the box would be in space on the ground, and then we can go up here from these points. Like that. Cool, so I hope you can follow me. So what I'm doing now, I sketched in the first three key positions on where the box is going to move. So I was so focused I didn't even realize my box is in the middle of this arrow here. Click, click, come back. So, like that. So, this is the first position here. And then the box will split up into three boxes. So we have box number 1 here, box number 2, box number 3, and then we'll land in these three different positions. So box 3 will land here, box 2 will land here, box 1 will land here. And why do you think, why is he animating it like that? So what I'm doing, or why I'm doing this, is to practice how to animate in perspective. And perspective in itself can be boring, can be complicated. So many grids, vanishing points, horizon. If you hear these things, you think, oh, what does this have to do with art? And yes, if something is complicated or overwhelming in the beginning, it helps to simplify it and be going back to the basics, to the basic grid, to basic boxes in perspective, and animating them. So step by step, sketching three positions, taking the time, where could these boxes be in perspective, how is it sketched correctly, and step by step developing a feeling on animating in perspective and getting a good natural feeling, so it's easy and comfortable to animate in perspective, and then also increase the complexity, then also adding anatomy or animating a character in perspective. But to start with simple boxes and animating in different grids and to different vanishing points, I think it's, for me right now, feels great. Yeah, just to get a good flow there. Okay, so these are the first three positions, and now what we can do is to animate the next ones, where we go here and also decrease a little bit the grid. I think that's okay, and I'd also decrease a little bit this here, so you can see a little bit better our drawing. Okay, now let's do the next one, where the box will jump. And also let's see at which point we're going to add a little bit more rotation to the box. And it's also fascinating, even if we're doing here simple boxes in perspective, you have to highly concentrate to rotate these boxes correctly. And even while being so concentrated, I'm making mistakes. So, make the box a little bit bigger. Cool. So the next one will be where the box will elongate. Or let's even use this one. And also it's normal here to make mistakes. Also what's good is to, when having a session like this or learning perspective, then to look at your sketches or animations you did. And then you will see over time how your natural observation of perspective will improve, and you will see little mistakes you're doing. So here the size have to get bigger so it's consistent. Here the box now will wedge. So we're having a smear here. The next one. Maybe like that. So the box will jump here, but again a little bit bigger. And I'm coming forward and landing here. Whee! Cool. So now between here, these two the positions. Be a little bit bigger. And I would even re-sketch this one and let it rotate more. So now it's slowly coming down. Are we going to do that? It's the position I'm searching for. Maybe let's place it here. And make it bigger. Because it's coming towards us, so we have to yeah, make it a little bit bigger. Maybe like that. Cool. And now it's going to land. And again stretch a little bit. We're using here. This here is a hub. Maybe like that. See in a second this is working or not. Sometimes just try it out. Sketch the box down and then you see quickly if it's working or not. I think it's okay, a little bit bigger. Cool. I think from the basic approach it's working. Of course there are small things like is the box from the timing and how it's moving in the space working correctly, so it's a little bit gliding here. If you know what I mean, from this to this. But other than that, I think it's good. And of course, then we could also add a little bit squash and stretch more, and also add a little bit bouncing. But other than that, I think it's working okay. Hello Nesu104run. Good to see you. Cool that you're joining the stream right now, practicing how to animate in perspective and really going back to the fundamentals and yeah, simplifying the whole process. So this box is landing here. Cool. I'm also want to add a little bit more here of a bouncing, but let's first let's do the other complete the other positions. And these are really the basic positions on animating a jump. So the box here is going a little bit up, then is stretching, then it's into the air, and then coming forward, and the same also for the landing. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go to the next one, where we would have to add the key positions for this one. Let's see if I'm going to do that. This box is there. Or if it's getting too confusing. Maybe it's even getting too confusing, so I'm creating a new layer on top. Or let's even create a new... Yeah, let's do it again. So we are going to establish the animation again. So again, the first box, sketching that in, that was okay from a second ago. And also when drawing in perspective, when sketching in perspective, becomes more important to be patient, to connect your lines. Also, I'm not always doing that perfectly. Okay, I would also say Let's use this one quickly as reference. So we're a little bit faster in establishing this first box here. Also try out quickly a new brush or a different brush, maybe with this one. Be a little bit more easy in perspective. Okay, so the first one will be here, and the last one will be here. We will only see it flattened out here in the background. This box. Like I said, I wouldn't even sketch the backside because then it's getting only confusing. We're so far away. Okay, so we want to animate this box here, going from all this way to here. That's the goal now. And we have already established the middle position here. This was it. Would also say let's add a rotation, maybe like that. A bit bigger. Okay. I think this one will be a little bit more challenging because we have to rotate the box at some point, but let's see how we're going to do that. So this was frame 1. So this one out. So this is the plan. Okay. Let's do the next one. Where the box slowly will move up here. So, of course, this could sketch be a little bit more the lines could be sketched a little bit more cleaner, but okay for now. This one will become tricky. Maybe going to rotate it here slightly. So we have this corner here, and I'm also always looking at these corners here and using these corners as a starting point to do almost everything with these boxes in perspective, to let them rotate. Like you have to a little bit rotate the canvas here to get some good straight lines. This is not working. Again, don't get frustrated. Can take a couple of attempts to do that. Quickly try, let me try something out. Something like that would work. Yeah, maybe. So it's going to rotate here a little bit. Indicate what's outside here. Also, let me do this one again. So right now I'm thinking how to let this box move up in perspective. So this corner here moves here. And to the front. So if we're doing like that, we would also already have a rotation in it from the beginning. I mean, let's proceed with it. And then see if we're going to make changes later. But yes, you can see going in perspective, even with simple boxes can be complicated. So yeah, taking the time and simplifying the whole process, just helps to then step by step getting more comfortable in animating it. So this one is also super rough. Let's do it quickly, or let's go on top of it and improve it a little bit. So the box here again will stretch like we did in a second ago. So now we can delete this layer like that. It's almost a little bit like cheating what we're doing here, but that's okay. Because what here we have the box like this rotated, and now here we have it like this in an angle. So it's yeah, a little bit rotated. But it's okay. We could also let it rotate first here while being on ground, and then let the box jumps. I think that's okay. Okay, cool. Whee! And then it's going up in the air. And I feel like also, especially when moving in space, it gets more hard to follow properly what's happening with the box. Hello, Joe, good to see you. Lang nicht gesehen, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Okay. I'm also thinking, so with this box right now, we're moving in space, on perspective space, from this point here, diagonally to this point. And it's more like we're estimating or feeling out more how this box will move in perspective. But we could also construct it properly. So we would sketch a grid maybe like that, like that, like that, and then it's coming here. If you see what I mean. So this would be a little bit more correct in terms of how the box is moving here in space. Tick, 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 tick. It's also funny to see it, everything on one frame. But that's always the thing. Like, how much do you take the time to sketch out the box in perspective, and at what point you just use 3D? So you're using Blender or something like that, and taking the box or a rough character and placing it into your scene. But I think it's not wrong to get a more natural feeling. To how to animate a box like in perspective like that. And also then what can be challenging is to let the box, for example, this box here, even when thinking about it. So how would we rotate that box in perspective? So this would be one option. A little bit rotated would be like this. So yeah, different possibilities. I mean, I will try this. We would even only to sketch the side as he can help to then but that's a good key thing to remember. So when you want to move, for example, you want to move your box from this point here in perspective to, I don't know, maybe this point here or even far away here. So let's say like that. Then you just use now I have it. Okay, so you from this point here, point 1 to point 2, I feel like what also can help to plan it out to sketch only the side from the box. So it's starting here. Then it's moving up, going here, having a smear, going here, down, and now landing here. So we're sketching only the side plane, and then we going to extend it in perspective. So with that, we can have a little bit more easier time to sketch the box properly here in perspective. As you can see. I think that's a cool hack to also practice and how to animate this box in perspective. And I mean, let's try it out. So we can just Bring it to the front. Let's see what's the quickest way here. Like that. Move this layer up. Like that. Opacity. New animation row. And right now we could quickly see how it looks if we're going to animate it. Super rough. And using this drawing we did before as a reference. So it's going up here. And coming here. And I think also for the future when animating in perspective, to establish first in the background on one slide the key drawings and then animating on top of it, I think it's a great help. So trying out to establish the right perspective already in one drawing and then having that as a reference later. So the box is flying here and then landing here at some point. I think this is even too small, but just as example. How we can move in space, in perspective. And this is something we could do in every grid for everything. So that's also cool to have practiced it like that. So, for example, when going back to the grid here, we can do that in every direction. So also in that direction. And then sketching first in only the side plane. Cool. Okay, I will do a quick break and then animate a couple more boxes of perspective. So today is really the focus on getting more comfortable on sketching and animating in perspective. If you're also learning how to animate, if you want to animate, of course it helps just to do also maybe as a warm-up to just really sketch boxes without any, forget the grid, without any grid in the background, to just sketch boxes in perspective. Takes the time, also even if it sounds boring, sketch some boxes in perspective from different angles, rotate them, sketch them from below, sketch as many simple shapes in perspective as you can, even boxes like this. Then you go in here and add a shape like this. Then you go in here and add a shape like this. Then you adding a curve here, like that. And so then you can also create if you want to go more deep into it, you can sketch the book How to Draw from Scott Robertson. There you can also learn how to create volume like that. You can create like spaceships or something like that. But yeah, sketching as many simple shapes in perspective as you can, or as a warm-up, is great, and I would say almost a must-have fundamental skill if you want to do 2D animation. Cool. Okay, see you in a second. Break 5 to maximum 10 minutes, and thanks for watching anyone so far. See you soon. And we're going to continue. Let me do a quick sound test again. Beep boop beep boop. Again. Okay, I think it sounds okay. If not, let me know in the chat. Okay, let's get back into animation. So, a little bit of tea. Ah. Best when you forgot to drink your tea and it's not warm anymore. Best moment. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, let's sketch the next box, but before jumping into the animation, we're going to plan it out on one sheet and then animating on top of it. So I think that will be a good practice. So here it will be maybe we're adding a little squash and stretch here. Maybe like that. Ba, ba, ba. And then it's coming again here. And now we're not using any grid, more eyeballing it. And yeah, this looks like a simple one, but yeah, also I think a cool thing to try out. Hello Hunter Wigilius. Cool that you're joining the stream right now, animating boxes in perspective, planning it out first on one sheet and then going over it. So let's see. This is also a super simple one, I would say, in terms of what is happening. So we have no jump here, but still can be challenging. And also, like I said, takes the complexity out of it. Animation in itself can be complicated, perspective in itself can be complicated. So yeah, why not simplifying the whole process and getting good at the simple things? That's with a lot of things, like a lot of sports also. Being good at the simple things can get you very far. So now let's do the last position. And again, if you have any question, let me know. On perspective, on animation, or anything in life. Almost, let's say almost anything. Not anything, but almost anything. Cool, so let's do this one. Also squash and stretch. You're not familiar with animation terms. Means that we're squashing an object, so we're making it, like as you can see, this box here is in terms of this size here, large than this one. So this here is larger, this is thinner here. And also, I hope you can see it. If not, maybe it could be that you have a problem without being too rude. But this length, or this size here, is shorter than this one. I hope you can see that. So we're stretching the box here. And we're making it thinner here. And that's called squash and stretch. Super simple, quickly explained. So, and that can give your animation a little bit more dynamic. And that's more used if an object is moving super fast in space. Then squash and stretch in animation is used. If you watching any animated show, you can see it everywhere. And smear is when we're doing the same thing. Also smear can also be sketched differently, but smear is almost the same thing, but we're not squashing it. We're just elongating the form without making it thinner. Okay, that was that. Okay, so we have these three positions here. Looks very basic, so let's add a couple of in-betweens. So right now here, for example, we could go more here, make it here thinner, and then it's coming to the front. And adding even an in-between here. Like that. So playing a little bit with the timing. Also maybe already having here starting the squash and stretch. And see, yeah, what do we do differently when going into perspective? Add another in between. Okay, so let's blend that out. So this would be a simple box moving in space. Super simplified. Cool. And yeah, to practice that, basic steps, basic boxes, and then we can always also sketch characters in perspective and let them move from A to B and somewhere here in space. But yeah, starting with simple shapes, I think it's great practice to get that basic feeling on how to animate in perspective, and also maybe implement it into your warm-up routine. Great, let's do another run. Another one. Again, we are sketching it first, planning it here first out, so maybe let the box start here. And see what can we do differently. So maybe let's let it jump again or roll over to the front. So it will here roll a little bit like that. And then jump into the air. Like that. That will be here in the air. Also what you can do is just to extend these lines. And from these lines here, you're sketching in the line here, and then you get just going up in your perspective space. Like that, straight lines up. And then you know, okay, where your box is in space here. So you know how to move it to the front in perspective without leaving this train here, like this line where it's moving. Just as a little tip. So now let's say it's landing here, somewhere here. Like that. And now let's say it's moving in that direction. We're doing another jump here. So it's rolling over to the front. Like that. And standing here. After it rolled over. Then it's going down. Again, squash and stretch. And then jump again. Now, right now here it becomes confusing to see what I'm actually doing here. But to plan these out, I think it's great. And also to keep that in mind when then animating characters to take the time and plan them out on one sheet. Hello Leticia Gabler, good to see you, cool that you're joining the stream. For everyone, super cool if you have a question or just saying hello. And yeah, if you also can understand, I'm now streaming 1 hour 20 minutes. If you don't have the time to watch the whole stream or just a small part of it, also super cool. Happy about that. And if you don't want to miss out anything, I'm uploading the highlights on my socials. So check that out, Instagram, for example, where you can see everything I'm talking here so long cut together. Just to let you know. So again, we're going here up. We're going up. It's my new song. We're going up. Maybe I'm going to make a perspective song. How to go up in perspective. Okay, cool. So then it's going to land here again at some point. As you can see, I'm also going out of space here. What? So. Okay, so that's the plan. What we want to animate. Would be also fun to sketch also. Maybe we can do that in the next stream for practice. To sketch a box that is around in a circle. So it's starting here and then going around wee and coming back here and creating a little loop. Would be also fun. Okay, let's do that. And I think this will be the last animation for today. And then I'm going to stream again tomorrow. And the next stream will the day after that. And the next stream will be the day after that. And the next stream will be the day until we arrive at Friday. At my well-received or well, how do you say, what's the correct word? By the weekend. I can't wait. Weekends are so beautiful. Especially when having a job. And of course I'm happy about my job. Super grateful for that. Also being able to animate. But weekends where you don't have to work are just beautiful things. Okay, I just was going somewhere completely different in my head. Let's focus for this last animation here. Sorry, everyone, bear with me. And yeah, let's get into it. Focus one more time. So we're going to decrease the opacity here and start animating. Starting to animate. At the first position. Maybe let's make it a little bit bigger. Now the next one. Let's see also how many. I will first do only the key ones and then adding in-betweens. But let's first quickly sketch these key positions here. I feel like also here's missing one we have to add. The box for second will be again straight. Like that. Also, as you can see, why it's important to connect the corners so you're staying clean. Yeah, not perfect, but okay for now. It's okay for now. And something we have to improve is so we let the box start to jump from here. Okay. And now here it's going to jump into the air. Can again extend these lines here. Like that. Whee! And the next one. The whole thing is going to lie here. Forgot to create a new frame here. Oh, let's take this one and let it be like it is. Maybe I want to rotate it. Let me quickly see if I can do it like that. A little bit cheating here. Yeah, not perfect, but okay for now. To the next one. And the box will land here. Wee. Of course, in terms of timing, we'll still have to improve a lot of things. And now it's coming down here. Let's even add a little bit of an impact. See if this is too much. And now the proportions will become normal. Okay. So we're adding a little bounce there, as you can see. Wee. Feels a little bit extreme, but it's okay. We could always add in-betweens later. And then the box is going to continue to go his way here. Like that. Now moving here to the side. Now coming up again. Now again jumping into the air. Like that. And again, if you have any question, let me know. So, what's happening here? Wee! And the box is of course important to add sounds. Wee! Wee! So, stuck. And now again, going in the air, jumping. Wee! The box is free. Like that. And having a beautiful curve here. And then again landing. The box is landing. Again adding squash and stretch here. And back to normal. Okay. So we have the box here. Whoosh. Let's see without the drawing. I think it's working good. Of course, timing wise. Let's quickly add a couple of in-betweens. Let's space out the drawing a little bit more better. So we have time for in-betweens. So we're going to label, where was it? Add a track, assign multiple cells, and let's say a cell name, and we want every number frame 3. So we have space for in-betweens here. So with that, if you have named your layers correctly, you just can space out in your timeline quickly your layers. So you don't have to drag every layer manually. That would be a nightmare. So let's add a couple of in-betweens here. So not many, but yeah. If we're already doing it. Between these two here. And I also want light table. Audience skin settings. Only the purest frame. Okay, like that. So it's a little bit more easier to in between. I feel like also even in betweening, I saw there's an online course dedicated only to in betweening. It's easier said than done. I feel like sometimes in betweening can be super difficult. So just adjusting a little bit the timing here so it starts slower and then getting faster here. Also maybe make it here a little bit slower. Adding it in between here. Maybe here. Like that. And also in between here. So the whole squash and stretch animation is a little bit more fluid. And another one here. Okay. As you can see, the adding the in-betweens makes the whole animation a little bit more smooth, a little bit more easy to follow. Cool. And even if I would take now to finishing proper the animation, I would add way more in-betweens here in the beginning, so make this beginning part smaller, slower, and then these jumping parts faster, so you have that nice rhythm in it. But yeah, cool. I would say great practice for today. Was super fun. Thanks for everyone who joined the stream. Can't wait to going to continue to explore more 2D animation tomorrow in the next stream. If you have any last question, let me know in the chat. You can always ask questions on my socials in the comment section or direct messages. Happy to answer everything. I'm going not to miss it out if not here live in the chat. Yeah, fun session today. So thanks for watching, everyone. See you tomorrow or one of the next streams.